Hi there, welcome back to the video. In the last video, we generate platforms with various widths. In this video, we define multiple levels with difficulty. Specifically, we create a new level data class. Inside the class, we define multiple levels objects. For each object, we use the variables that generate platforms. We also define the chance of enemies and coins generation for each level. Let's get started. Open the game ES6JS file in the code editor. We create a new class named LevelData. It doesn't extend any class. In the constructor method, we define a this.levels array. The array contains objects. For each object, we store the variables that we use to create platforms. They are gap x, gap y, width diff, and total. We also define the chance of having an enemy and a coin here. Each object represents one level. Let's copy the object to have 5 levels here. We set the gap x to be smaller in earlier level and increase the value gradually. The more gap between each platform, the game is more difficult. For the gap y, we set the initial value to be 30, and later on, we increase it to 50. This value can't be too small or too large. If it is too small, the game becomes boring. If it is too large, the hero can't jump over the gap. For the width diff, it depends if you want to have more variety of the platforms. Setting a large value here means some platforms could be very short. In combination of the gap x values, the level could be fun but easy if the width diff is large and gap x is small. Or it could be challenging and difficult if both width diff and gap x is large. By the way, it could be very difficult or even impossible to play if the width diff, gap x, and the enemy chance is large. Total means how many platforms are there for each level. In the earlier level, we want to have more frequent level ups. In later game, we want the difficult level to last longer before moving on to an even more difficult setting. It's because we want the player to be well prepared for the difficult levels by having enough practice. The coin chance is the rewarding. We can make it a high chance. The enemy chance can't be too large, otherwise the game would be too difficult to play if every platform has an enemy there. After fine-tuning the level data, we want to include it into our game. In the world class constructor, we create an instance of the level data. In this video, we learn how to define multiple levels. In the next video, we generate platforms based on these level settings.